Hello everyone, my name's Adam. In this problem, we're going to be taking the expression natural log of the absolute value of sine of x plus natural log of the absolute value of cotangent of x, writing it as a single logarithm and then trying to simplify that. So to start with, we have the sum of two separate natural logs. So there's a useful formula from algebra that we want to recall, namely that the natural log of a product, say a times b, can be written as the natural log of a plus the natural log of b. So kind of using this formula in reverse, what we have is the sum natural log of the absolute value of sine of x. Now, even though we have sine x inside the absolute values, that's fine. We're going to treat it as an entire quantity, call that a, and our absolute value of cotangent x, treat that as our entire quantity, say b. So using our formula, we can write this as the natural log of the product of absolute value of sine of x times absolute value of cotangent of x. So we've done our first part. We've written the logarithm as a single logarithm. Now what we want to do is try to simplify this further. So what we have is the product of the absolute value of sine of x times the absolute value of cotangent of x. What do we do from there? Well, there's another formula from algebra that we can recall, and that is when we have a product inside an absolute value, we can take that as the absolute value of a times the absolute value of b. So again, using this formula in reverse, I can take this product of absolute values and write it as a single absolute value with the product on the inside. So take this as the natural log of sine x times cotangent x inside absolute values. Now we have sine x times cotangent x, and we have something that we can work with our fundamental trig identities to try and simplify this a little bit further. So let's see what we can do. Well, we have sine x times cotangent x. Now a rule of thumb is when you're trying to use your fundamental trig identities and you have a product of trig expressions, one of the things that you can work with is just breaking things down basically into sines and cosines. Cotangent x is equal to cosine x divided by sine x. So plugging that in, we have natural log of the absolute value of sine x times cotangent x, which we're taking as cosine x over sine x. And of course, we see our sines are going to cancel, and that will leave us with the natural log of the absolute value of cosine x. And we're as simplified as we can be. So we took our expression natural log of absolute value of sine of x plus natural log of absolute value of cotangent x, wrote it as a single logarithm, and simplified it to natural log of absolute value of cosine x. Thank you very much.